We'll get started here just momentarily.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Donna.
Great to see some faces we haven't seen for a while.
Yes, it's awesome.
Hello. I actually have my kids in school today, so my life is mine right now. It's a rare occasion.
Lucky you, mine's home in quarantine.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Joys of 2020.
Right? Especially in entering into flu season. It seems to be getting worse, not better.
Well, and it's so many of the same symptoms. How do you know? You just immediately go to the worst.
Donna, it's because you and I talked about that on Monday because I now have one in quarantine too.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
I need to take this real quick. I'll be right back. Senior Area Chamber of Commerce. This is on. May I help you?
I'll just wait a few more minutes, see if Donna comes back, and then I'll get started. Just a few housekeeping. If you're not currently speaking, mute your line so that we don't get any feedback. Christy does have this recording and we will be posting it. So unless you want everyone to know your business, I highly suggest that you mute your mics.
Okay.
You too. Bye-bye.
There we go.
All right, I've locked myself in.
Welcome back. All right, so I'm going to get started. I'm going to welcome everyone to our third Women in Business online gathering for 2020. Woohoo, we're finally virtual. We appreciate you tuning in as we continue to try this new virtual format. It is our goal to continue to support and strengthen each other through encouragement, motivation, and networking while still being physically distant. Again, just a reminder, we are recording this presentation, so we respectfully request that you please mute yourself if you are not talking so we don't receive feedback on the recording. I will start this meeting with a bit of history. I'm a history fanatic, so I want to share with you what I learned. Did you know that on November the 19th, which is today's date, in 1863, President Abraham Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address during the dedication of the Soldiers' National Cemetery in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. The Battle of Gettysburg, fought just 4 months earlier, was the bloodiest battle ever fought on American soil, and it proved to be the turning point of the Civil War. In just 271 words, that is, Lincoln brilliantly movingly reminded a war-weary public why the Union had to fight and win the Civil War. Lincoln tied the current struggle to the days of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, speaking of the principles that the nation was conceived in, namely liberty and the proposition that all men are created equal. Lincoln praised the sacrifices of those who died at Gettysburg in defense of those principles and urged his listeners to resolve, and I quote, that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. I believe these are powerful words indeed. Next, I would like to share with you some of U.S. women's history for the month of November. Can everybody still hear me okay? My screen just went weird.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can hear you.
So for the U.S. Women's History of the Month, on November 13th, 1938, Mother Frances Xavier Cabrini was beatified, and she was the first American woman citizen to become a saint. And November 8th of 1984, Dr. Anna L. Fisher, a physician on the shuttle Discovery, became the first American mother and third American woman to fly into space. And on November 11th, 1993, the Vietnam Women's Memorial was dedicated in Washington, D.C., after being conceived by former Army combat nurse Diane Carlson Evans and sculpted by Glenna Goodacre to honor the 265,000 women who voluntarily served during the Vietnam era. So now on to our National Day calendar. Today, again, November the 19th, is National Play Monopoly Day. Known as the most popular board games in the world, Monopoly was originally based on a board game designed by a woman, Elizabeth Maggie, in 1902, and it was called the Landlord's Game, which I thought was kind of interesting. Didn't even realize it. Also, I would like to share that November, National Gratitude Month, is the annual designation to be observed. Gratitude is more than simply just saying thank you. Gratitude's amazing powers have us from focusing on the negative to appreciating what is positive in our lives. Practicing daily gratitude gives us a deeper connection to ourselves and the world around us. And everything in our lives has the ability to improve when we are grateful. Research has shown that gratitude can enhance our moods, decrease stress, and drastically improve our overall level of health and well-being. On average, grateful people tend to have fewer stress-related illnesses and experience less depression and lowered blood pressure. They are more physically fit, they are happier, have a higher income, and more satisfying personal and professional relationships, and will be better liked. Who doesn't want to do that? So therefore, in honor of National Gratitude Month, I want everyone, when it's your turn, to tell us something that you're grateful for when you provide your update. And perhaps all of us today can improve our own overall health and well-being. And again, I want to say a big thank you to Christy Cox and the Greene County Libraries for hosting us. Greatly appreciate you doing our video conference. And in appreciation, I want to provide Christy some time to speak to you all. So Christy, I pass the mic to you.
Thank you. I don't have anything wild and wonderful happening right now that I can share with you. We're still open, so come in. If you don't want to come in because you don't feel safe, we will bring the books still to you curbside. So request your materials and we'll bring it out to you. We just ask that you pop your trunk. We promise not to take any yummy goodies that you may or may not have in your trunk with us. We'll just put your books in there and we will close the trunk for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask us.
Wonderful. Thanks, Christy. Now let's hear from our other host, the Xenia Chamber with Donna Saraga.
Welcome, everybody. Like I said earlier, it's great to see some faces we haven't seen for a while and going to hear some things from around the community. Oh, what am I thankful for? So many things. It's kind of hard to narrow down. Even though I mentioned my son being in quarantine right now, I'm going to say I'm grateful for his volleyball skills. He made a national team and we are playing all over the country right now. So almost every weekend, not this weekend, but hope to get back to that soon. And I'm just really, really proud of him and grateful for him. My news, one, we've still got lots and lots of masks here provided to us by the health department. So they come in packs of 10. I'll bring them to you. Let me know if you need any. We've got lots. The other thing is as members, you are eligible. One of your benefits is the Chamber Energy Program. Don't know if you realize that this isn't just for your business, but it's for your residents as well. All you have to do is call these people, provide them a gas and energy bill, and they will see whether they can get you a lower rate. And they have an opportunity to do that at no cost to you. It's no pressure. If they can't do better for you, or you're in a contract you can't get out of, they'll tell you that. They're really, really upfront about it. So not only applies to every one of your employees, as a benefit to your employees and say, we're a chamber member, take this to most people and see if you can get them a better rate. So please do that. We've got them online. I can bring a pile of them to you, but we want to make sure that people are aware that this is a benefit that comes with being a chamber member. And that's it. I will pass it back to you, Shannon.
Thank you, ladies. Be sure, anyone, to be contacting Donna. I put her email contact information in the chat window. If we need to add any friends or coworkers to our Women in Business mailing list so that they can also receive information about our upcoming speakers and events. So come one, join all, as I do believe that this is Women in Business from Greene County, not just the Xenia Chamber. So in that effort, I wanted to make sure to open up to the other chambers in Greene County the opportunity to provide us some updates, as we haven't heard from everyone considering the pandemic. So Beaver Creek's going to be first up. Miss Amanda, we'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, everyone. I'm excited to be here. Good to see some faces. I know not being in person is definitely very different, but we are currently tag teaming our office. Normally we are here, but just 2 staff people, but because I have one in quarantine, we are now rotating back and forth between the office just to try to slow any spread of anything that we may have. My child is healthy, thankfully, right now. And we've got a little less than another week for quarantine. So anyways, at the chamber, this year's looked extremely interesting, as we all know, as everyone has discussed. So we started very early on and created a COVID-19 resources page, and this is being updated daily. There's information on there that members can use, residents can use. We take information from public health and from the governor's office and are constantly pushing that information out. So for us, it's been extremely important to make sure that we are getting them that information as quickly as possible. Kind of funny because when we had our tornado come through, it was a same page that we created, and then we obviously took it down at the end of last year, and then come like late March, we went ahead and put it back up and changed it over to COVID-19 resources. So it's been used a lot of members have. We've shared information about restaurants that have remained open and what they're offering and that kind of information. So big piece that we've been doing for our members. Another thing we started and then stopped. In October, well, back in September, we decided to do member mix and mingles. So what our goal was numbers were, a 10 group gathering max. So what we were trying to do was get back to networking and providing those opportunities. And so we did 4 locations all on one night with 10 at different member locations and 10 members at each of those. They had to pre-register. They could not attend if they had not pre-registered. The response was great. Everyone was excited about it. Our business links events that we typically hold monthly are usually pretty large. We average about close to 100 at those. And so for us, this is something that will actually continue into the future just because it provides that smaller networking opportunity. So we had all intents of doing that again in the month of November and started talking about reaching out to the next set of businesses and everything. And then I had a call with the governor's office, and that was when things were really starting to escalate again. And so that event actually would have been tonight. So I'm really glad we did not plan it. So we do intend to bring those back in possibly January, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get back to doing those small group ones again. I know we had a few people on this call were registered for those, but we just want to try to bring back that opportunity while still having, we reached out to public health, we had their blessing on it, and moving forward. But it is a series that will keep going. So we're doing our board holiday party virtually. So we've done a couple of networking events where we did either a food cooking demonstration or a board mix, or a drink mix and a bar demo. And so we're going to with our board for our holiday party. It for us, we want to try to have a little bit of fun. Everyone needs enlightened and all of that and some cheer and things. So we're going to go ahead and move forward with that. And then we'll just keep doing the best that we can for our members and trying to help in any way that we can. We're constantly pushing out the CARES Act. So those of you who are on here, the small business grant, there is still funds available. So make sure you have applied for that. Share with anyone that you know. One piece that I will share with you guys that we received earlier this week is if you applied and did not hear back, you need to check your junk mail, because what's happening is those emails are going into junk mail. And then what happens is the deadline passes and you basically have to start over again. So we're trying to encourage those businesses to keep a close eye on their junk email box as that comes through. If you are a restaurant or business that holds a liquor license, you also can apply for an additional $2,500 grant that's coming from the state. So we want to make sure that all businesses are aware of that as well. So I think that's it right now, unless anyone has any questions for me. All right, thanks for having me, you guys.
Thank you so much for providing us an update. We appreciate that, and it's good to have you on board. Next up, we'll go to Bellbrook. We've got a new executive director over there for their chamber, Miss Jody.
Hi guys, how are you?
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Go ahead and provide your update for Bellbrook if you don't mind.
Sure. I guess there's just lots going on, trying to get into the groove of what's happening. We hired an administrative assistant, which they've never had, and we're happy to have her. And we just brought a treasurer on board this week, so we're happy about that. And just making changes, trying to figure out new direction to go to grow the chamber, working on membership growth, just trying to move forward during this crazy COVID time anyways. Holly, are you on here?
Yes, she is.
Does she have anything else to add?
No, just I'm really excited that Jody is here, and it seems like everything is falling into place before the end of the year, and it just is really nice. So we're just trying to figure out what direction, and we want the chamber to go and see where we really want to help our members the most. So Jody's been doing an amazing job at sending updates as she gets them from the governor's office and whatnot. So I really have nothing else right now. We're in the planning phase. So if there's anything that you all want to see Bellbrook Chamber to do or partner with somebody, some of the other chambers, I think that would be kind of a fun thing once we can get back into doing so.
And I was just going to add, and Holly kind of just said it, but if you have any suggestions or ideas, we're open to it. Again, we're just trying to make changes to move forward. So we're open to help. And anyway, just reach out. But thank you for inviting me and having me on here today. I always like making connections, actually seeing the people so you can put a face with a name and you actually know who you're talking to behind, not just behind an email,
Thank you both ladies for coming. We greatly appreciate it. And the invite is always extended. So feel free. We have the premise when I came on board as chair and support from our board is that if any members of any Greene County chambers, they can come to Women in Business at no additional cost. Now, of course, we had lunches and all that other fun things that virtually we're not doing. So it's free. Anyone can come and join us on our third Thursday. And since this is our third rendition, we're trying to secure that time slot again. So it's wonderful to see our numbers growing. From our first meeting, Christy, I think we had maybe 5. Now we're looking at almost 15. So we've tripled in our 3 meetings. It's wonderful. Next, we're going to hear from Yellow Springs. Miss Alex, you have taken on new reins just like Jody. It sounds like you two have a lot in common right now. So please feel free to update us on what's going on in Yellow Springs.
Thanks so much, Shannon. Yeah, as many people, especially if you're familiar with Karen Wintrow, have probably heard, she left the Yellow Springs Chamber as of October 24th, and she has since moved to New York to be closer to her son. I'm really happy for her. She's posted some pictures from the view from her house, and it's beautiful. But so I am the interim director here at the Yellow Springs Chamber for the time being. And yeah, I've been having a lot of fun getting adjusted to that, you know, learning a lot of new things, more connected with members in some of the regional meetings. Yellow Springs, as you know, the tourist destination that it is, has remained very busy since the beginning of the pandemic. Even in April, when everything in town was closed and the restrooms and the parking was closed, there were still plenty of people out and about in Yellow Springs. So it's definitely interesting when we're thinking about the holidays coming up. You know, a lot of the businesses in town are just overwhelmed with the day-to-day. And so we're trying to figure out, you know, what sort of things we can do to really help them drive less of those in-person sales and probably more of the online sales and the deliveries and things like that. But yeah, we're having a lot of fun. I also wanted to share, I don't know if there are any nonprofits on this call that are not 501c6s, but kind of in the vein of what Amanda was sharing about the grant from the state. When I was looking at that grant, it said ahead of time that it would be available for nonprofits, and then it wasn't. But there is a grant from the state, from the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services for nonprofits. It's at jfs.ohio.gov/nonprofit grants. And that will be, those applications are open until the 27th. So yeah, I think that's all I have. And since we're doing the thankful thing, I did say this in another meeting, but it's still true. I'm thankful for my community. My life is so much better than I imagined it would have been if I was somewhere else. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing those thoughts. And we have a new person on board, not quite the chamber, but I think the Convention and Visitors Bureau still follows under these updates that are well needed. Thank you so much, Ms. Wright, for coming on board and giving us some updates on your world, as I'm sure the pandemic has turned it upside down. So feel free to share with us your thoughts on what's been going on.
Sure, thanks for having me. Yeah, you're right. My world is pretty upside down. Excuse me. The CVB is operating at about 50% revenue right now, which is honestly better than I thought we would be. But I anticipate that going down through the remainder of the year as events are non-existent. But most of the hotel business right now is government and transient. Very, very little group business due to liability. We have had a couple of sporting events that have still happened, mostly because they're outdoor events. But keep in mind, our hotels are open. And so if you do have family coming in, they're clean, they're keeping everything, you know, socially distanced and sanitized and clean. So if you do have family coming in, get them into our hotels. They're keeping their pools open, and most of the restaurants are not open except for in Yellow Springs. The hotel in Yellow Springs is hopping. So thanks to Dave Chappelle and his events, they've done exceptionally well. But all the indoor facilities for group and sports, concerts, etc., they're restricted to 300 people or less. But the Nutter Center is really under university restrictions. So there virtually are no events going on there at all right now, unless it's a university activity or a class. There's just nothing going on. But we're already seeing events canceled for next year too. So like Watchtower, which is the Jehovah's Witnesses event, and Winter Guard International canceled for next year. I'm sure you've all heard that the first 4 in Dayton canceled. Which hurt us too, because we had events that stayed in our hotels. So it's been a rough year, but so far, keeping our fingers crossed, Hamvention is still moving forward. They're like full steam ahead. They've got their new logo already, and so their event will be right now in May of 2021, and we're absolutely thrilled about that and very thankful that they are still moving full speed ahead. Lisa Willis and I are attending their monthly all committee meetings to keep abreast of everything that's happening there and helping out with their planning as much as we can. Other than that, we at the CVB are keeping ourselves busy working with our hoteliers and our event planners and stakeholders. We're going after new events as much as we can. We're working on new marketing plans as well for 2021 and beyond. And our website as well, we have a new website that just went up this year. And we have a COVID resource page on there too for our partners and our events on our website. And our website is greenecountyohio.org. So if you need to find out, if you know of any events that were planned, to find out if it's canceled or not, you can go on there to see if it's been canceled, which I'm sure it has been. But yeah, it's just been a tough time, but hopefully things are going to get better. We're keeping our fingers. So, but as far as things to be thankful for, I'm just thankful to have a job. I'm thankful for family and friends, and it's all good. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Miss Jody, if you don't mind muting your hearing your conversation.
And actually, I was just getting ready to do that, and I'm so sorry.
No worries. Thank you so much, ladies. We reached out to all the chambers to give them an opportunity to provide us updates, and you four took up our invitation. So we greatly appreciate it, as well as CVB here. And of course, Women in Business is here to help you as well. So if there's anything that we can do, please be in contact with myself as the chair of our steering committee, as well as Donna, who is my right-hand woman for everything, it seems to be. So if we can help you in any way, please let us know, because I do feel that we're women in business of Greene County. And so I want to support all of us in Greene County, and how we can do that is knowing what's going on in each other's worlds, as well as supporting each other. So what we can do to help you, please feel free to let us know. Now, instead of having a speaker today, I'm going to go around the room for those that haven't had an opportunity to talk yet. And as you appear in my window, I'm going to then introduce you so that we can hear from you and your agency. If you could, please present or speak on video so we can see your smiling faces. And again, we respectfully request that you stay muted if you don't, if you're not currently speaking. And don't forget to tell us something that you're grateful for when it is your turn to provide the update. So again, I will start with Miss Holly. Did you have anything you wanted to add separately for yourself, aside from the chamber?
I do, if that's okay. First of all, I just want to say I'm grateful to friends, family, and loyal customers, because especially my customers, have really stepped up with the swim season continuing on, and really stayed loyal to us and come into our store. And a lot of the high school teams that we work with, actually, even as far as Monroe local schools, have had their suit ups at our store, which has been a huge boost. So for those of you who don't know, I own Parrot Sports Gear as well as Parrot Promo Essentials. And the Parrot Sports Gear side is the swimming side. So we've been very, very lucky with that. For the promo side, we're just in full force going for any holiday gifts for customers or employees. Right now, a lot of our vendors are offering free drop shipping or reduced rates for drop shipping. So especially with everybody working from home now, if you have a company that you have all of your employees working from home, we will drop ship. We'll package everything really nice and drop ship the gifts to your employees for you. And you don't even have to worry about it. All you have to do is decide what you want to provide them. So that's just something we're really working on right now. And I have a goal for next year of trying to really focus on gaining 2 new large clients, if you will, or whales. So I'm going to be trying to research a bit and figure out exactly who I'm trying to reach out to through LinkedIn and different things. So I may come in occasionally and ask for introductions if anybody knows, or at least some information on companies. One I'm really looking at right now is the Fuyao glass company. I would really like to learn a bit more about them. So if there is anybody that does know them or works with them in any manner, I would love to schedule a time to talk to you a little bit more about them. That's all I have.
Thank you so much, Holly. Miss Barbara, would you like to update us? I can't talk today. Update us on what's going on in your world.
Well, I'm Barbara Stafford with the Xenia Community Schools Foundation. We're a 501c3, and our focus is to provide support to Xenia Community Schools. We do that through hosting an annual Hall of Honor dinner and induction ceremony. And we also provide about $25,000 a year in classroom grants for teachers for special projects and a small scholarship for graduating senior. So my main function, aside from organizing events, is to raise funds to support our projects. Fortunately, I already work from home. I had been working from home, so that was not a big change for me. And our board very quickly adapted to Zoom meetings. So we've been meeting regularly. We were not able to hold our Hall of Honor dinner in April this year, and we rescheduled it to August. Still is not a good time to host an in-person banquet and meeting. So we created a virtual induction video for our inductees so that they had something they could share with their families, and they still got their plaques, and we still had sponsors and so forth. So we were able to get that accomplished, and we're hoping to have an in-person Hall of Honor next April if circumstances change for our new class of inductees. Typically with the Hall of Honor, we also do an auction, a silent auction. This year we transitioned that to an online silent auction using a product called 32 Auctions, and it was very successful. Our 5K Fun Run Walk tread was already virtual, so we held that anyway. We have lost some revenue due to the fact that I've not been able to do my 50-50 raffle at business after hours because there hasn't been any business after hour sessions. And I've missed the opportunity to network with people at Women in Business Lunch. We are trying to organize a small online basket of cheer auction for chamber members the middle 2 weeks in December. And if we are able to get donations from our members and put together some cheer baskets, I'll be placing an article in the Gazette to give everybody the link to the 32 Auction site. It's a really easy to use software product. And we usually do an in-person auction at the December business after hours. And so this will be in place of that. So I feel as if, we've accomplished most of the things we set out to do, although we had to use some variants in formats. But ultimately, revenue is down a little bit, but we'll plod forward and hope for a better year. I'm grateful that my family has stayed healthy during this period. And my daughter in Texas and my daughter-in-law in California are both pregnant and due in January. And so far their pregnancies have been going well. And so that's what I'm grateful for. Thank you.
That's wonderful news to share. That's positive, and hopefully everything will work out in the new year for those new births. And this will be numbers, how many grandchildren you have now?
Oh, this will be 3 and 4.
Oh, wow.
And
Congratulations.
am I on mute? No.
Nope.
It's a boy and a girl, which is great.
You get the best of both worlds there.
Yes.
Well,
Lots
thank
of
you so
clothes
much,
to buy.
Barbara. We appreciate you sharing that news with us.
Okay.
Mila, you're up next.
I'm sorry, who did you say was up next?
You got the mic.
That's what I thought you said. I wasn't sure.
No
I thought you
worries.
said Flo, and I'm like, is Flo invited? Okay, well, I'm Sheila Sider. I'm from Sider Services, and we're, I know a few of you on here already, 2 or 3 anyway. We're a heating and air, water heaters, appliance repair business. We've actually been chamber members about 10 years, not extremely active. I more recently retired from local government, so I'm being more active now. And let's see, I think I told you we're in business about 12 years. We have about 9 employees, and we cover about a 25-mile radius around Xenia right now. But we're working on a big project, kind of exciting to do some expansion and additional employees. So hope to hear about that before the end of the year. Let's see, what else was I going to tell you? And that is one thing I'm grateful for, that we are in a business, an industry that is somewhat essential to keep everybody warm and keep their stoves going where they can make their dinners at home. So that's one thing I am thankful for. We did recently hire a marketing gal, so I'm pretty excited about that. And she was supposed to attend today, but she ended up in a bigger marketing one within our industry, Zoom meeting. So that's a 2-day event for her, and I didn't want her to miss part of it. So, so she's excited, wants to be at the next event, be there for you ladies. She asked that I say, look her up. She's Amanda B for Brem, B-R-E-M, at ciderservices.com. She would like to hear and get to know everybody. I'll tell her to, check for everybody on LinkedIn. So I'm happy that the other chambers are here, not just Xenia. So that was neat news for us. She's got a lot planned. One day when we do get to do the after hours or the events, kind of like what I think Beaver Creek was doing, I think that's a great idea. We want to host one. We bought the old warehouse property out on 42, and that's where our offices will be moving to. But it will probably be the end of the year, first of next year sometime, definitely next year before we can have one of those events. But we'll do an open house and hopefully get to meet the rest of everybody. So the other thing I want to say I'm thankful for is, and a lot of us have experienced, is our moms. Luckily, my mom is close. She lives in her own home. She has COPD, so we're trying to keep her healthy too. But all the stories that we hear of our parents and families in the nursing homes, I'm glad that I can see her periodically and help her, and not have to go through the struggles. So my heart and prayers go out to those people who are still going through those struggles. So I'm happy to meet everybody, and there being so many. So anything else, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you for letting me come back.
Well, welcome back, and thank you for sharing your updates. We appreciate it. Ms. Tamara, you're next up. What's going on? I believe CareSource, correct?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for hosting this. It's so much fun to see all the different women in the community and the different chambers. So this is a highlight for today, for sure. So with CareSource, for those of you who don't know, we're health insurance, and we provide health insurance to those who are lower income on Medicaid, and then Marketplace for those who work doesn't offer insurance, like smaller businesses, or it's just not affordable. Right now is open enrollment time. So if anybody is trying to get information, it's through November 30th of this month. And a lot of people that just have never thought they would be in a situation, having to look for lower income insurance or insurance at all, are now, because of the pandemic, put in that situation. So they're already thrown enough in life, and now they're trying to navigate, how do I do that, right? So we just want to make it as easy as possible, provide as much information as we can. So that's what we're doing. We are getting out to the community some, obviously using social distancing measures, but today we're actually going to be in Dayton doing a coat giveaway to children that are in lower income and just need those type of needs met. So, and we're partnering with other organizations that are going to give flu vaccines. Immunizations are down 60% right now. That's huge and not good, because at some point, that we're going to have results from people not getting get their immunizations, if I could talk. So anyway, just trying to keep supporting the community however we can. So if anybody has any questions or needs information, always feel free to reach out. But again, I am so thankful, as for speaking of thankful goes, for this today. It's just great getting to hear everything that's going on, not just in one city, but in the entire Greene County community. So thanks for doing this.
Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that. We're working hard to become a fixture in this community, not just in Xenia, but then how everyone they're serving their different communities. We overlap a lot, not just outside of, or not just inside of Xenia. We overlap a lot inside of Greene County as a whole. So I appreciate you being thankful for us, and we're thankful for you joining us today. Miss Karen, how is things going at Digital Watchman?
We are doing pretty good. Can you hear me? Okay. We're doing pretty well. I want to say that I'm grateful that I own a company that I can run from my home. So COVID did not affect me as a person a whole lot, but it did, of course, for running the company. We had to change, it's a construction company, so we are considered essential. We did shut down for a couple of weeks, then we got back to work. Some jobs we're doing, it was great because the companies were closed and there weren't employees around, so we were able to get our jobs done quicker. Other jobs, the companies were not allowing anybody into the building, so we weren't able to get those jobs done. But a big project we're working on right now is downtown Dayton, the arcade project. We're excited to be a part of that. That created some problems though too, when all the riots were going on downtown Dayton. We had to get out earlier in the day than we expected. We weren't able to get full 8 hours for our guys. So all this stuff kind of affects the work that we get done. But overall, I'm very grateful to be able to work from home and still keep my company going as best as I can. And it's great to see everybody because, like I just said, I work from home. I don't see anybody. So it's great to see you all today.
Thank you, Karen. What exciting news with the arcade. That's exciting to have that contract. So please keep us informed on how that's going on for you. We'd love to hear it. I'm still going from memory, but I believe it's Melissa because all I see is her last name. Do you have any updates for other than what Christy shared with us from the libraries?
Yeah, I'm Melissa Fasanella, and I'm the head librarian or the branch manager here at the Xenia Community Library. And just right off the bat, I'm thankful to still have a job and to be open, where there's so many libraries around the US that have furloughed and reduced hours. And I can say that we have kept and retained the staff that we have, and we are open full capacity hours that we've always had. And if you haven't come visit us either in person for browsing or using our computer resources and faxing resources, know that, as Christy said, we have curbside and that we're doing a lot of programs virtual right now. So if you guys have never had the opportunity to come in person and join us for one of our in-person programs, now you can be anywhere in the county and enjoy our programs from home. And we have programs up, story times. My staff are here at Xenia are doing morning story times every Thursday at 10:30. But we have other youth services librarians around Greene County that are doing them on different days and different times. We have teen programs, cooking, craft, all sorts of stuff going on. And then we haven't forgotten about you guys that are adults. We are adding new videos every day on different things that you can do and entertain yourselves from home and educate yourselves. So don't forget what the library can do for you. And just thinking about the upcoming year for 2021, we have initiated a new winter reading challenge. So if you haven't been reading all year because you've been home and limited in what you're allowed to do, it's a great time to start reading if you're not a lifelong reader. And we're building in incentives. So we have a bingo board that we'll be offering customers to fill 10 of the 20 spots and come in and get a little prize and be entered in to win gift cards. So, and that's for teens and kids and adults. So remember to come in and see us.
Thank you for sharing. We appreciate that. Miss Monica, how's things going with Children's Services? You're up next.
Hi. First, I'll say what I'm thankful for. Like others have said, I'm very thankful that I still have a job. And I'm thankful that I and my family have stayed healthy throughout the pandemic. Like Donna, my son is also under quarantine right now because of an exposure at school, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be fine. Let's see, what can I tell you? Everything's been canceled. We had to cancel our annual trunk or treat, which was heartbreaking. I've been here 10 years. That's the first time that we haven't had it. Of course, we canceled all of our festivals like everybody else did. Unlike other counties, we are still here in the office, but we're doing as much business as we can. Well, it's weird to say business for children's services, but through video conferencing or phone calls. No visitors allowed in our offices. We're very strict protocol around here. Our Christmas sponsorship program, because of COVID, we've had to drastically change that. We're not sponsoring as many kids as we normally do, unfortunately. Right now we're celebrating National Adoption Month. So if anybody has ever thought about adopting a child, give us a call at 562-6600 and we can tell you more about it, or check out our website. We're under the City of Xenia's website, click on departments and then select Children's Services. And if you click on adoption and then click, you can see all the kids and see a description of them. I think we have about 20 kids that are available for adoption right now. We have finalized 11 adoptions so far this year, including one that's coming up next Tuesday. So we're all always excited. That includes 3 sibling groups. So we're all very excited. We always love it when an adoption is finalized. I think that's all I have to say. Hopefully that
You were
was.
telling me something about a birthday program. Did you want to mention that?
Oh, yes. We have something new called the Birthday Boutique here. We get a lot of things donated to us throughout the year and also at Christmas. And so anything that doesn't get used for Christmas or other purposes, we are now putting into our Birthday Boutique. And that is for our foster children. I'm in charge of taking a look at what their age is, what their gender is, what their interests are, and I'm getting together gift packages for all the foster kids. Each month, I do all the birthdays for that month, and I give the gifts to the caseworkers, and it's up to them to either deliver them or mail them, whatever, however they want to get them there. So that is fun and exciting. We had the Birthday Boutique for a while, and I was leaving it up to the caseworkers to gather the gifts together, and they're just too busy and they didn't always do it. So now it's my responsibility. So anything that is donated, we're going to talk about donations here a little later. I think anything that is donated to us that doesn't get used for Christmas will go into the Birthday Boutique.
Wonderful. Thanks for sharing, Monica. She teased you for something I'm going to tell you about here in a little bit. First, we're going to allow Miss Cheryl to speak. You're the last one I have on my list. And for those of you who are seeing in the chat window, feel free to drop your contact information as this is being recorded. So anyone that does view this later can also receive your contact information. Miss Cheryl, go right ahead if you'd like to provide an update.
Good morning. This is Cheryl Baker. This is my first Women in Business meeting. I am the Air Force representative to the Xenia Area Chamber of Commerce. So I just joined today to see what this is about. And I'm grateful for my family has been essential workers through COVID. And everybody has stayed fairly healthy, with my son and daughter-in-law having COVID, but they are doing fine. Thanks.
Well, thank you for joining us, Miss Cheryl. In my rush to join this meeting, I never introduced myself, so I will officially do that now. I am Shannon Webster. I am chair of the Women in Business Steering Committee. Day job is mobility manager for Greene County at Green Cats Public Transit. I help individuals who have mobility challenges find solutions to those, whether or not they're with Green Cats or with Uber, Lyft, walking, senior centers, you name it. I try to keep a pulse on what type of transportation options that are available in Greene County, as well as provide travel training to individuals so that they can successfully move independently around their community. So if you know anyone who is transportation challenged and is needing assistance, feel free to refer them my way. I'd be more than happy to share with them how to get to and from, whether it's to work or school or what have you. And I try to help everyone that I can. Also, being the person that I am, if it's not transportation related and you have a question, I might be able to point you in the right finger. So consider me a resource. I do attend a lot of meetings around the world, if it feels like, especially now with Zoom. So for me, I am grateful for the internet because I have been, if you will, quarantined from home since March. Due to health reasons, I can't be out in the public like I once was with my job. And so without the internet, I would not be in touch with anyone, nor be able to binge TV shows. It would be very lonely and isolated. I think often back, I'm of an age, here in about a couple weeks, I'll be 46. I remember in my childhood, there was no internet. So if the pandemic had hit while I was a child, I think life would have been really awful. Luckily, we've got some of the supports that we do now, even though we don't feel like we can gather together like we want for the holidays. I did just read, just a helpful hint, Zoom is extending over Thanksgiving their requirement that they won't drop off at 40 minutes. So if anyone wants to Zoom in with their family, you'll be able to do that and not have be cut off within the 40-minute measure. So I thought I would share a little bit of good news as well. Continuing on that measure, as Monica mentioned, we are going to have a party this year for December, but it'll be virtually. So the steering committee has decided to use Greene County Children's Services as our charity annual donation drive. Those are for teens that are age 13 and 18. I don't know if Monica, you want to share how our donations maybe in the past has helped this program. We'd be more than happy to hear from you on that.
Sure. I was just jotting down some notes here in preparation. Just as with adoption and foster care, similar with donations, people tend to lean more towards the younger kids and forget about the teens. Everybody wants to foster or adopt babies and toddlers, and there's not that many people who want to adopt teens usually. And we're always thrilled when we find those who do. But the same kind of tends to happen with donations a lot at Christmas and other times, but especially at Christmas, people tend to buy for the younger kids and forget that we also have a lot of teenagers in foster care. So in the past, when you've done these donations for the collection for us, it's been really helpful for our older foster kids and also for those that are in, especially the ones that are in our independent living program, which are the oldest of the foster kids, 17, 18, where they're getting ready to age out of the foster care system and they're going to have to go live on their own, which is really scary. It helps, the gifts especially help them a lot. So thank you for all your past donations. And like I said earlier, anything that we don't use for Christmas will go into the birthday boutique, and we'll use that for birthday gifts for the foster kids all year long.
Thanks, Monica, for sharing that with us. So if you do choose to donate, all donations are to be dropped off to Donna there at the Xenia Chamber office in Xenia between November 30th until the end of business day on Monday, December the 14th. I mentioned we will be doing our virtual December party, but we will be taking reservations. So we're going to attempt to do a gift exchange, cross our fingers, but we need to know how many people plan on attending. We don't want anyone attending to go away without a gift. So please register for the December meeting. We'll be accepting those until the end of the business day. Again, Monday, December the 14th is the magic day. We are also requesting attendees to drop off a wrapped gift or gift card to Donna at the Xenia Chamber. Same time frame, November 30th until the end of business day, Monday, December the 14th. We request that all gift cards can be purchased from small businesses in Greene County, as they have endured quite a big hit to their businesses during this pandemic year, as well as we want to help support Small Business Saturday, which will be November the 28th this year. So we would greatly appreciate you supporting our small businesses in Greene County this year with your holiday shopping. We are planning on having an ugly Christmas sweater contest at our Christmas/December party. So dig out that old ugly sweater, maybe a gift that you've gotten in the past, and model it for us in December. And we'll be sure to pass out the prize for the ugliest sweater. We also have some other things in store, even a visit from Mrs. Claus to come in and surprise us to be with us. So we haven't got all the details ironed out, but we'll be sure to have a good time. So please let other individuals know so we can grow this number from what we have now. We want to invite all to attend our virtual party in December, but they have to register. It was truly great to see everyone today as we stay physically distant, but socially close. So I thank you again for joining us. Please be on the lookout for your upcoming e-weekly email for more information on the next month's meeting, coming to you live on the 3rd Thursday of December. Now, I like to leave everyone with a positive thought, and this is something that I heard last week from an Ohio author. Her name is Maggie Smith, and this is from her new book called Keep Moving. Quote, accept that you are a work in progress, both a revision and a draft. You are better and more complete than earlier versions of yourself, but you also have work to do. Be open to change. So have a great day, everyone, and stay safe. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today.